Multiple attempts here. Sorry about that. Let's just get into, so today is February 4th, 12:30. I'm going to show you how to get into here in the analytics dashboard. When you go in, you'll be offered the main dashboard. That will take you to a section called cryptocurrency analysis generated systematically. So you want to pick that off. Here you'll be able to get an option to download the crypto report data package. So you just enter your information, will be available to you in your inbox, and you'll get a zip file that will look like this. In there, you will get PNG files, graphic charts, Microsoft, Excel, and Word documents or compatible files. You'll get CSVs as well, comma separated value files. First thing I would look at is the crypto risk. Here, this is the current market profitability in the markets for the 5 large coins. Well, they traditionally were of 2018, but here we have Bitcoin US dollar, Bitcoin Cash US dollar, Litecoin US dollar, Ethereum Classic US dollar, and Ethereum. Those come from Coin Market. So here we have what I will call anemic. Those 5, all 5 are just profiting hourly under 0.5%. That's not very strong, but it's all profitable, so it's better than what it has been historically. Also, what you'll find here among the reports are 4 different ones we have. Now this data comes from Binance, largest exchange out there. We have a short document. This is kind of useless unless you are on an exchange that allows you to long. Also, we have crypto long based on trend. You can see here by the sides that there's nothing in there really. Same with the long, and then based upon volume. So I'll pull up that document that may have some validity. Sometimes it doesn't. So the only one that has any long is so-called SIA coin right here. I'll go through these reports later on what they contain. First thing you also want to look at is these 2 files here, most potential or most profitable. The reason you want to look at these is because from my testing over the years, even though you do get crypto pairs that seem to work, what will happen is they can still whipsaw. So I'll show you the whipsaw file, but these 4 that I'm showing you do not whipsaw over the last 6 hours. So these are the ones I kind of want to focus on. Last week we had Zcash up there for quite a while, and then with BNB against Ethereum, Bitcoin that have been doing really well with a 15% up hourly change, as well as Steam against Ethereum as well. So those are decent coins to look at. Now I did mention the whipsaw. So we have a whipsaw list, which is in Excel. And these are the currencies or crypto pairs that have whipsawed over the last 6 to 8 hours. So you can see here we have the pair and then the time it whipsawed at. And when I say whipsaw, those are pairs you just don't want to touch, because if they've whipsawed, chances are if you put on a position right now, it may whipsaw against you. So a lot of those, I don't know why Steam's on here, but the ones that are on that other spreadsheet, except this one I'd probably avoid, but these 2 might be decent ones to put positions on. It looks like BNB Ethereum's doing well, and I can verify that by a number of ways. So if I was to look at the watch list of the current system, if it was to do live trading, you can clearly see this is what's on the watch list. So these are the ones you want to definitely watch right now. Now the idea here is I can have the ability, as part of the signaling service, part of this whole analytics membership, is to be able to send out this package or a reminder every 6 hours of what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. So this is a convenient way for you to download these pairs and be able to maybe watch while you're trading. But I'm going to give you a whole series of files to help you make better decisions. So, as I said, those ones on the watch list are really good to watch. So the next step I would probably look at is maybe the alerts. Here, if you've been part of my course, again, you can see I'm on a Mac here, so I'm going to load up the simple text. Text edit. So here, this will give you all of the pairs that look like they're doing something that is like there's the early stage of something happening where it may bounce, move up. So here we have Ethereum Classic against Ethereum moving up. We have Bitcoin Cash against Ethereum potentially doing something. Nano against Ethereum. Sia coin. And again, but the thing is, you got to watch those pairs. Okay? So be aware of that. Okay. So let's see what we got here. So let me just finish seeing what was in that file here. So here we have XRP against Bitcoin as well. The ones I'd be really paying attention to are the candles. These candles are generally kind of reliable, but you can get sometimes ones that are bearish and bullish. You see here you've got bullish, bearish, bearish. So these combinations can be very confusing. But this is what the system's seeing on the bot. But you can combine all of these, and over time you can probably determine what's reliable and what's not. For example, here we have two bullish signals for XRP BTC. So if I went to, let's say, TradingView, let's see what it says for XRP. Hopefully it sounds okay on this thing. So what was it? XRP. Okay, XRP BTC. So we want Binance. So if you just go on, I kind of do this just to confirm theories, because this is like one of the largest sources to get buying signals and whatnot. The idea with what I provide, it just narrows down to some small subset of what's working and what isn't. So you can see here, this combo is XRP and BTC is in a sell, but overall on a daily chart, it's done okay in October. But then you can come back in and look at the different smaller time frames from the daily and look at the, for instance, like the 4 hour, and that may change. So it's a strong sell, hourly, and I've done this before many, many times, where I discovered why the minute opportunities are way better, and I have a strategy that does that, and it wins 90% of the time. So even regardless of what time frame you're looking at, this is not a good combination based upon what you're seeing, despite the signals here. So one of those situations where you ignore that. So, but if you were to look at something like BNB, these are the ones that are for sure really good to buy. So you got the Binance coin. Let's see what the signaling is for these. Okay, so here we have a strong buy. So it's up 15%. If you have a strong buy like that, that's pretty strong, and to confirm that theory. So if you looked at BNB Ethereum, it's the same thing, hopefully. And the other one that came up was Zcash as well, I believe, Zcash Ethereum. So we'll look at that, those signals, just to confirm that these are working. From what I've been testing, I'd say 75% of the times it does work. You can see here that BNB is just, look at that. I mean, that's on fire, and it's a strong buy again. So again, that's pretty good. So all last week we saw Zcash doing quite well as well. So the idea behind my service is it filters down all of these trades and will provide all the necessary info that you need to filter out that those trades are good, instead of just relying on something like TradingView. So here we have a sell, but again, if I go into the technicals and zero down the, let's see what it says here. So we know that. Okay, so if I do a 4 hour, because sometimes you'll get these opportunities will change. So we got a 1 hour strong sell, 5 minute. It doesn't change, nor does the minute. Okay, so that is that for sure. Okay, so let's go through some other reports here. What I've given is the CSV files, the data, minute data, as you can see here, and some other files as well. I've shown you the whipsaws. So let's say if I wanted to show you the BNB data, say the minute data, this can be useful, like really useful in fact. Boy. Okay, let me just go this way. So I'll pull up this text editor again here. So here's the raw data, typical minute data, timestamp in the Unix timestamp. This is right out of the Binance Exchange, open, high, low, close, and the volume data. So you get all of that here, minute, daily, minute, 15 minute, 1 minute, daily. Also, I've shown you the alerts. I've shown you the crypto rank. This is an interesting one as well. If you want raw statistical information, that is a CSV as well. Let me just show you that. So this one is all the major ones. Now you can easily feed this into a spreadsheet. So you get the pair. Let me just do that. So if you pull up your spreadsheet, in my case again, LibreOffice, do a spreadsheet. Now I can take that data. Okay, so it's going to ask to separate by comma or tab. That's okay. There you go. So now it's a little easier to read. So here, what we can do is this can be manipulated. Now, I'm not sure how many pairs I'm including here, but it'll be a lot. It'll be over, so in this case, we have over 100 pairs, probably all the big ones, built on volume. And this is the power of it. So you can go in here, and you will not find this anywhere else, this type of service, unless you program it. But what you can do is you can get the average mean, the daily return. So if you looked at sorting by descending on the column D, which is the mean daily, here you can see which ones are less volatile. So you can see that BNB Ethereum is it's not very volatile, so that's why that's a good one to be in. And again, so that would tell you maybe you should just trade those on a daily basis. Or yet what you can do is you can do the same thing on the mean of the column E, mean hourly right here, and do the same thing. And then that will tell you which one's a really good one to trade versus which ones are least volatile. Now, that's all fine and good. What I'd be more interested in is we have the standard deviation. Sorry. So this is the daily return, right? This right here is your volatility. So if I was to, let's say, sort on column L, standard deviation 1 hour, descending to least volatile. So here you can clearly see we can sort by which ones are the least and most volatile, okay, by looking on the hourly or the daily basis. Now, one I do like and I think is more important is the number of returns, daily returns, and which ones give you more positive returns. So here we can do the same thing on column H, I believe. So column A would be number of positive returns on an hourly basis, let's say. So let's see here. So on the hourly basis, I think I screwed that up. So this is hourly right here. So the one that gives us the most amount of hourly returns is, again, BNB, then XLM, Nano, and ICX. But you have to, again, factor in those whipsaws. So you can clearly see when you filter out the batch, these two are really good, BNB, Ethereum, BNB, Bitcoin. Okay? So those are different things that you can trade on. So you can do the same thing on the daily versus hourly. So if I was to factor in the daily number of positive returns, so that's daily. We want number of positive returns on a daily basis. So here, Steam, Coin, Ethereum, and XMR, top 4 for daily returns if you were just to hold positions for, let's say, a day. So there's different ways to do this. Very useful information, but I just focus on more of the easier stuff. But that file is very useful for that exact purpose. Again, I showed you the most potential, most volume. Now this one's really good. This stop loss crypto is, so if you're manually trading, so if I load up the CSV for this is stop loss, take profit. This is really useful. So let's say if you did decide to go in and start trading based upon this, the stop loss, take profit, you can use this info as your entries and exits. So I'm just trying to format this into a proper spreadsheet. I tab and comma separated. There you go. So now you can see, here's the Fibonacci levels. These are the different up stop and low stop. So up stop would be your hard take profit. So if the prices get at these points, that's what I would consider to take your profit. And those stop losses, and again, this is done virtually, so you don't have to signal back to the exchange what you're intending to do. So this is a low stop, get out if it does start to lose money. These are the ones if you're not sure if the volatility is working against you. So you can put on half a position for the up, half a position if it meets this. Take profit, the upper stop, soft stop loss. And what you can do is put half a position. If it breaks through this target, then add in more positions because you know hopefully the momentum's there to continue that profit potential. Same with the stop loss if you decide ever to short. Now again, this is a very useful file, and I do know that this can be very valuable for people because this alone right here, what you're doing is you're filtering out the good trades, the good ones to trade, and you can also factor in and put together your own virtual stop losses and take profits for both different types of risk. If you are feeling really good, momentum looking good, put on the full hard stop loss or take profit, or apply the soft stop or soft take profit for half positions. So we've shown you the whipsaw crypto, blah, blah, blah. Showing you the raw data is here. The crypto alert is in there. So we have here all the different documents as well as the CSVs and Excel files. Now we get into the potential charts. So this one can be useful. So this will take the volume only on what's on the watch list at this point. So here, as we've been talking about the watch list, you can clearly see you'd be better off to put your entire capital for those trades into BNB Bitcoin because of what we looked at. The also, if you look at the other one, hourly profit. So this is the latest info. We know again, and we can confirm that through TradingView, that BNB against Ethereum and Bitcoin are really good because of the profit. And then these two are questionable, but these two are really good. So therefore, they show the profits there on an hourly basis as well as the volume. Very strong information. And also, we have here some charts. So let me just pull up only the BNB ones, because those are the ones that may be useful at this point. So you can clearly see here that on an hourly, this is 168 days, trading days, that BNB's been just taken off. Only one bad day of the last few. So again, that's why there's that volume there. Same with the BNB against Ethereum. You can look at that as well. And this is good at signaling and confirming these theories. Went into a trading day, now it's starting to take off. So you know that those are good to get into, even on a daily basis. That's all you can trade. The Fibonacci is the same thing. So let's just look at these guys right here, daily Fibonacci's. So let's look at the BNB Bitcoin. So you know BNB is doing really well. So you can clearly see if we were trading in this zone here, the golden zone between the purple and the green, and we're down here where it did bottom and now it just takes off. Boom. That is good. And same with the Fibonacci on the Bitcoin one, BNB against Bitcoin. So this one is potentially going to take off. But what I will say is when you're trading in Ethereum versus Bitcoin, the Ethereum just does better. I think that it's more stable, there's more volume, so I can't really say. So again, I want to show you this report. The report I want to show you, I don't care about this SIA coin that I hinted at before. So again, this is a typical Word document. This can be very useful for the deeper analysis, but SIA coin is not a good one, obviously. But what we can take away here is we get the group volatility and the group volume. These are the ones that you can use to compare against other ones. Here we have the individual standard deviation, again, volatility, compared against the group. You can also compare the volume against the group, so you can do some comparison. As I said, is the Fibonacci price in that golden zone? Because if it is in the golden zone and it's ready to break out, as I showed you in the BNB, you can make mad money off of that. So here, what we are dealing with are more charts. These are standard charts that I can use. I don't say I will use them entirely or exclusively, but it gives you a history of what's been going on since, let's say, last year. This thing has just been battered down, SIA coin. You can look at the buy signals. This one would have been okay. This one would have been kind of useless because historically you can see how battered down this thing is. And you can see the general trend, same. It has been above the overall trend for the last while. But the question is, why would you trade it when you have better opportunities like BNB, Binance Coin? Again, then we get into the Fibonacci's. The Fibonacci's are way too tight. Yeah, this is not good. You get the daily returns again from a statistical point of view. You can see on the daily returns it's way more negative than positive. This is clearly a combo you just don't want to use. This pair, SIA coin, the head and shoulders again, we can see what's happened here. The trend has been going down, just hammered down. It does signal. This is definitely, if you have the ability for shorting, if you are on Bitfinex, you definitely could be shorting this and making, again, mad money. So this is where the confusing part comes in. Bullish, bearish. So it conflicts. These can be, this is for the candle patterns, so these can be ignored for now. But you can definitely use them. Definitely use them in your favor sometimes. And there's also the harmonics too that work too. So here it's really interesting. You can clearly see that the lower trend and the upper trend lines are tightening, and it did tighten. And look what happens. It just tanks, and that's what's happened. You can see here again, just these averages get clobbered. Boom. Even if there was a buying opportunity on the RSI, it did pop a tiny little bit, but the momentum's come down. This is one of those coins you just stay away from. The momentum's gone negative. The RSI is if it is a buying opportunity, I don't think it's going to do a lot, because here's your buying opportunity. It did pop for 2 days and just came right back down. But if you're sitting daily, you could have had a nice move here, and I bet you dollars to donuts that the candles are just going bullish, and it did pop. So here you get the same idea on a 30-day look back. What you can look for is the volume here. Negative, the red bar, the red. Here you clearly know where to stay. The volatility, take profit, lose profit, exact same day. This, I don't think that'd be manipulated, but you watch the wicks, you watch the pattern here. It's just green, red, nah, too volatile, stay away. What you want to see is what I showed you in the BNB, where it's just green. As I showed you here. This is just one, the BNB, as being a nice one to play. So what you want to see with these candles is nothing but that. And even all the way down here, where you just see more green, but right along here, it's just taken off. Very nice. And you can also see the along here that the volume does pick up in those trades. But here you got to watch out for, historically, are these, when the RSI just gets a little overheated, it will come back, and yet we can expect that historically it will drop off. But the BNB had a nice run during that time, and when you use this kind of service, you'll be able to see those runs. But BNB was one of them, and that probably started over the last, how many days? 4, 6, so about a week. So you could have had a nice run up there. That's pretty well it. Let me just confirm that we've gone through all the files, positions. Oh, how could I forget? I forgot another big, really important file here called Crypto Rank. This does everything. This is a pretty powerful file overall, where we'll list all the major crypto pairs in Binance. I'll just show you here. Oh, maybe it doesn't, but I think it does, maybe the top, based on volume. So here we can do the same thing as I did with stats. We do all kinds of sorting and things as well. So a couple takeaways here is this one, the harmonics. So that's column L. So the harmonics are pretty good in terms of reliability, to give you an early indicator of what's going on in the market. So we have some bullish Gartleys here. The types of or different types of harmonics does not matter. This one right here, it's not really important. It's just it's bullish. Again, you get the daily, so you can see Litecoin, this ICX, Ethereum, Bitcoin, BTS. All of these are good, but you need to watch out for the, so our top one, I would say, is Litecoin Ethereum. Looking at it, I can verify that in other statistics. But if I was to go back to here in Trading View and just check out Litecoin Ethereum, this thing may take off, it may not, I don't know. But let's check out the signaling. Okay. So we have our signals here. Okay, let me just articles. All right. So we have our daily. Let's see. So it is a buy. But again, does it change if we were to change our timing? So if I go down a minute from a buy to a strong buy, will it go? Not really. 5 minute. Yeah. So overall, it doesn't really change, but this file can be very, 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 very useful. I will tell you the bullish harmonics are very useful. Also, let me show you what else we have here. Okay, so these are our columns. So we have obviously our time frame only daily, Fibonacci levels. Is it within? That's meaning is it within the golden zone? Is there a buy signal? So I'll show you that. You can sort by that. We have a sell signal. So these are your long and short opportunities. This one's not very useful at this point. Trend difference. This is your trend, your slope of your line of the, over a certain period. Your trading volume, momentum. So I would put trend and momentum the same. So you can definitely sort on the trend difference and the momentum. Volatility here, your harmonic for both bullish and bearish. So here's some statistical information. Your slope, R value, P value, standard deviation, and your closing price at that time. So when you sort, just to give you an example here of how useful this can be. Okay, let me just get these other ones included. Okay, so again, if I was to sort on, let's do volume first. This is so volume is column I. So here you can see which ones are the most traded. Okay, so Sia Coin, ADA, Cardano, XRP, XLM, Sia Ethereum. Okay, and then we can also look at the momentum, but this does not factor in volatility at this point. So if I look at by sorting column J for momentum, so column J, BNB, again, it's the strongest. Ethereum BTC, Neo BTC, EOS, LTC BTC, and EOS BTC. Those are your top 7 right now, and ZRX. But again, you need to factor in the whipsaws. So you can use those whipsaw lists I've shown you. So again, we got the momentum I sorted by. So let me show you the least volatile by column K. So column K can be useful as well. Let's click that guy. This is the least volatile. Okay. So these are your least volatile. So here, oddly enough, Litecoin, Sia Coin, Zcoin, XMR, your least volatile. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, XMR, BTC. Okay, so those are your least volatile. These are the ones you probably would like to trade. So again, let me just put everything back. So another one we can use is slope, the actual, this guy right here. So that's column 9. Okay, so these are the different factors that you can use to trade what's good and what's not good. So that was column N, was it? So we want descending, and that was for slope, the actual number. So we'll get a similar probably. So here is our slope. These are the ones overall that have the highest level of profit. XMR, BNB, EOS, then LTC, Ethereum Classic, ZRX, XRP. Okay, and then BNB again. So always factor in your standard deviation for volatility. Okay, really, really important to really understand things. So again, we can look at these two. So let's say if we want to know just right out of the gate, which have a buy signal on a daily basis, so I can sort by fib value if it's in that golden zone. So we'll sort column E, buy signal, and fib value as well. So again, when you look at the buy signal, okay, and I'll do number 2 now, descending, and then column, what was that column? Buy signal, fib value. So descending, column, what was it, column D. Okay, so we are doing fib value and buy signal. Okay, so these are another way to look at what is good to buy. So again, you can clearly see what's good. XMR against Ethereum, Litecoin against Ethereum, Ethereum Classic against Ethereum. I forgot then. But if you took out these lists and see which ones are whipsawing, you could clearly see on a daily basis which ones are really good to trade using like many, many different combinations I'm showing you here. So that's why this thing's very useful. You are getting, again, let me just recap. This is just what I'm doing here. It's pretty awesome. So I'm giving you the whipsaws, the stop loss, take profit on what's on the watch list. Okay, so I've shown you the watch list, the stop list, take profit on what's on the watch list at that time. And remember, you're going to get updated. Or you can download this anytime you want. It's updated pretty well every hour. But it will, as a courtesy, email you every 6 hours, 4 times a day. So get here, you can sort if there's a report on longing opportunities based upon profitability, which will then filter out these two here, most potential, most profitable, will filter out those whipsaws for you. So you have a much higher possibility of profiting. The stats I showed you as well, how that can be useful to filter out what are giving positive returns on a daily or hourly basis. You get the overall the volume pie chart, where the volume is clearly going at that point. If you do want to short, you get that as well. The current overall market. So remember, you've got a market that is down or barely profitable, but yet you look at an opportunity like Binance coin, right there is giving you an amazing opportunity and showing you that it does work. This file right here, the overall crypto rank is what I just showed you 2 minutes ago. There's a lot of good, useful information in there. The charts for the averages, the daily chart, the daily candles, other report here kind of goes deep on trend, based on trend, overall longing. There's another one, if it works, based upon volume. And then again, which pairs look like they are in that golden zone at that time. I can show you the hourly by profit for the hourly, not when you go to coin market cap and look at the 24-hour move. We're looking at hourly move, which is way more beneficial. Any alerts that the system can give you, all the stats I just showed you, the raw data on some of these things. I mean, it's really good. And you're getting that 6 times a day, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Powerful stuff. Hopefully you see the value in that. It's just different ways to look at the markets using this stuff, and we shall talk to you later. Thanks for watching.